Hi students, my name is Bendre, working as Assistant Professor in Zoology Department at RBNB College, Srirampur. In the previous lecture, we have studied about different cell organelles, cell processes, in that we have studied about the cell aging, cell death. If you have not watched those videos, please do watch those videos again so that you can get the idea of today's topic more clearly. So today I am going to talk about a very interesting topic called as cancer cells. So before beginning with the topic, let us know about what is cancer, because it is one of the most feared diseases, a life-threatening disease in the world, and it affects over 11 lakh people every year in India alone. If you see the worldwide, more than 10 million people succumb to this disease every year. So in each of the family members, our nearby neighbors, we are always hearing the news about somebody of their members are suffering from the cancer. So what are the causes? What are the characteristics of this cancer? Why is the cancer so dangerous? And it is going on increasing and increasing. So there is no single cause for cancer. There are different kind of factors. So there is interaction of many factors that together produces the cancer. You never know by what reason actually you have got the cancer. So the factors involved may be genetic, environmental or constitutional characteristic of the individual. So as I have said here, there are due to repetitive exposure, as I have said earlier, there is no single cause for cancer. Due to repetitive exposure to different kind of factors, you may get the cells, the normal cells converted into the cancer cells, and you may suffer from the cancer. Okay? So cancer is a multi-step process that requires the accumulation of multiple genetic mutations in a single cell that bestow the features of cancer cell. So it is not a disease that is generated within a single day. No, it is due to the repetitive exposures of the factors which are exposed every day at every time in your life. So it is a not single step disease, okay, it is a multi-step process. So in this we are going to know about what are the actual characteristics, what are the different causes of cancer. But let us look, there are three main properties of a cancer cell. Okay? So what are those? It is first that any type of differentiated cells present in your body have the ability to become a cancer cell, or it may be having the property of being the cancerous. So any type of differentiated cell can be cancerous. Then second property is it has the uncontrolled cell growth because of uncontrollable cell division. Then the invasion into other tissues. The most important property of cancer, the growing cancer in overall body, is due to the invasion into other tissues. Let us know about the normal and cancerous cell structures. So if you see the structure in this diagram of normal and cancer cells, in the normal cells you can see there is a large cytoplasm. These are all the structures that we have studied in the previous lectures also. So how is a normal cell? It possesses the large cytoplasm with a single nucleus, single nucleolus and fine chromatin structures. Okay? So there is a large cytoplasm, there is a single nucleus, single nucleolus and fine chromatins embedded inside the nucleus. Okay? But on the other side, the cancer cell has, first you can observe, irregular shape due to irregularity in the cell membrane structure. Okay. So, irregular shape of the cell, so it also has small cytoplasm as compared to the normal cell. So, small cytoplasm, it has multiple nuclei present in the cell, and along with the multiple nuclei there is multiple and large number of nucleoli and coarse chromatin structures. Okay. So, here you can morphologically differentiate the normal cells from cancer cells. So, after that let us see different types of cancer. So, if you have spoken with your different kind of, if you have talked with your family or friends or in the office areas, you will be able to know that there are different people suffering from different kind of cancers. It may be skin cancer, it may be breast cancer, it may be a stomach cancer, it may be a brain tumor, different kind of cancers arises. But few of them let us know about different types of cancer. So, from a medical perspective, cancer types are classified or based on the type of cell from which it has developed, or the type of cell which has converted or transformed into a cancerous cell. So, from where it has originated from. Therefore, cancer can be classified into following types. The first type is the carcinoma. So, one thing I would like to tell you, for the disease where oma is added, or the suffix oma when it is added, it is related to disease of cancer. So, carcinoma, it is a cancerous disease where the most common form of cancer, where it is originated from the epithelial cells. Okay. So, when the cancer is originated from the epithelial cells, it is called as carcinoma. So, next is the sarcoma. It originates from the connective tissue, okay, connective tissues such as cartilage, fats and bony tissues. So, when cancer is originated from this, it is called as sarcoma. Melanoma, it is originated from the melanocytes, which are a type of cells that contain the pigment. The pigment forming cells are causing cancer. So, it may be the skin cancer. So, this is called as melanoma because it is affecting the melanin pigments, the melanocytes. The next one is the lymphoma and leukemia. So, it is originated from the cells that comprise the blood, such as B lymphocytes, which forms the cancer called as lymphoma, or the cancer of white blood cell is called as leukemia. Hope these different types of cancers from are clear to you from the places from where they are originated. So, now the cancer, the group of cells which are transformed into cancerous cell or the mass of cell is called as a tumor. Okay. So, let us know what are the different types of tumors causing cancer. So, there are malignant tumor and there is benign tumor. Okay. So, malignant tumor means these are the tumors forming cancer which can invade the other organs. By invading, when they invade the other organs, it tries to spread to other organs too. So, this is called as malignant cancer or malignant tumor. So, these tumors, once they invade into other tissues, they spread to distant locations, okay, which is called as metastatic cancer and become life threatening, and at this stage we cannot control the cancer. Okay. Just in spite of taking just the chemotherapies. Next is the benign tumor. This is the cancer where it forms a tumor that do not spread to other body parts. Okay, here you can see that the membrane is intact and it is not breaking the membrane. So, whatever cancer cells are present, it is present only in the same organ. While in the malignant tumor you can see that the cell membrane, the plasma membrane is broken and it is invading into the nearby organs or nearby tissues, which are making the other cells also cancerous. So, this is called as malignant tumor, and in the benign tumor no plasma membrane is broken, and so there is no invasion into other tissues. Okay. So, benign tumors do not spread to other parts of the body or invade other tissues. Hope these two types are clear to you. So, the cancer cells are created when the genes responsible for regulating the cell division are damaged. The cell cycle, previously I have video of cell cycle also. In that also I have told you that cell cycle in our body is very important. There are different stages or called as G1, S, G2, M. So, in the cycle, when there are different checkpoints too. So, in order to go from G1 to S, G1 to S, S to G2 and G2 to M, there are some certain checkpoints to check whether each and every stage is passed clearly. Okay. If the stages are having problem, there are checkpoints which stop them from moving further to the next stage. But when there is some mutation in some of the checkpoints or in the G1, S or G2, M stages, that time there are non-functional checkpoints which unchecks the material that is passing in the forward stages. So, that time the cell division is non-functional or that is improper. Improper means it can produce the cells which are containing or which are having some mutated genes over there, which cannot be stopped from division. So, there is uncontrolled cell division if the cell cycle is mutated. Okay. So, that time different kind of cancerous cells can be produced due to problem in the regulation of cell division. So, let us now take a look to the characteristic of the cancer cell. So, there are different characteristics which transforms the normal cell into a cancerous cell. So, any type of cell in your body can be transformed to a cancer cell, but when? And when it turns into a cancer cell, what kind of properties are they having? So, first is the immortalization. Immortalization means the things which never die. Okay? So, cancer cells are also having the property of immortalization. How? The normal cell cultures do not survive for a long time. If we are culturing the normal cell, above 50 generations, they never divide the cell, they stop dividing. That is called, as I have said earlier, about the Hayflick limit. So, above 50 generations, the normal cell stops to divide. But when they are the transformed cancerous cell, they goes on continuously dividing. In spite of the 50 generations, they move further and divide them continuously. So, and they never die, they never get rid of these things. So, immortalization is very important property of cancer cells. Next is the loss of contact inhibition. Contact means coming in contact with each other with the help of the plasma membrane. So, let us see what is loss of contact inhibition. In normal cell, okay, in the normal cell, when the two cells in the culture are coming close to each other, they sense themselves or each other. How? By the contact of the plasma membrane. When they get in touch with the plasma membrane, their growth is inhibited, because they have known that somebody is there side, and so we have to not increase in size. So, they stop dividing when their plasma membrane come in contact with each other, and thus the growth, further growth is inhibited. But in cancer cell, they lose this contact sense. Though they can see or though they can feel, they can sense this other cell plasma membrane is touching them, they will go one upon the other, one upon the other. Why? Because they have lost the sense of contact. So, there is loss of contact inhibition. So, after forming the monolayer, they turn into bilayer, triple layer. Okay. So, like this they will form a mass of cells. Okay. So, this is about the loss of contact inhibition. So, next is the invaginous. They invade other tissues due to change in the properties of cell membrane. In the previous slide I have shown you how the malignant tissues breaks the plasma membrane and invade into other tissue. So, this property of breaking the plasma membrane and going into other or sharing the other tissue is only present in the cancerous cell. Okay. So, the property of invaginous, which makes the cell malignant and which spreads into all over the body due to invaginous. So, loss of anchorage dependence. Normal cells shows attachment, okay, to the substratum. Whence there is when the cells are cultured in the Petri plate. So, what happens when the cells are cultured, these normal cells attach to that plate as they think that plate is the substratum. So, they grow by the attachment to that Petri plate, which is thought them as substratum for their growth. But the cancer cells does not need any attachment. They can grow even in the suspension, in the free suspension they can grow, but in the free suspension the normal cells cannot grow. Why? Because it is suspended in the liquid, but the normal cells require substratum for the attachment and for the growth. So, they have loss of anchorage dependence. Anchorage means holding something for their growth, anchorage dependence for the attachment purpose. They are depending on some kind of attachment for their growth. So, that is called as anchorage dependence, which is present in normal cells, while cancerous cell lose this anchorage dependence and where they can grow in the suspension also. Then loss of or the lower serum requirement. When the cells are grown in the tissue culture, there is need of some nutritional requirement to the cells. That are various factors are provided for the growth of normal cells. But if the cells are transformed to cancer cell, this does not require any kind of nutritional factors. So, in that nutrition factor, one serum is very important, where cancer require at the lowest and normal cell requires more. So, cancer cells can survive well in the tissue culture medium for growth without the requirement of serum. Next is the molecular changes in cell membrane. So, in the first slide I have shown you the normal structure of cell and cancerous cell structure. In that, if you see that there is morphological change in the structure of cell due to what? Due to change in the structure of the cell membrane. So, the normal cell consists of 4 phospholipids in their membrane structures, while cancer cell contains reduced amount of glycolipids and enzymes, due to which it does not have a proper cell membrane structure. So, there are some molecular changes in membrane of the cell. Then changes in cytoskeleton. So, now just I have said that the cancer structure was having irregular shape, it was not in a circular shape. Why? First was due to the reduced amount of glycolipids and enzymes, and one more thing, that it was not able to maintain its structure was due to changes in the cytoskeleton, because in the cytoskeleton there are microtubules, microfilaments, intermediate filaments that are maintaining or giving the shape or rigidity to the cell. But when they are converted into cancerous cell, they loses this rigidity, they form an irregular shape, the microtubules or the microfilament function is reduced. Okay? And so, there is the changes in the normal architecture of the cancer cell. Next is the increased sugar transport. The cancer cell requires more sugar for their growth and multiplication of the cell. Active multiplication, thousands, millions and trillions of cell, it requires sugar, okay, for growth. Then Next is the defective electrical communication. As we know that our whole body is carrying out some electric signaling in our body, where the cells are communicated with each other about the cell division, about the cell growth, about the cell death. Each cell is communicated with each other with the help of the signals. But the cancer cells has defective signaling system due to lack of electrical communication. They lose the ability to communicate with each other. So just like one dialogue of Rowdy Rathod, जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो मैं करता हूँ, because they are communicating with each other. As they have spoken, they promises to be like that. और जो मैं नहीं करता वो तो मैं definitely करता हूँ. It is about the cancerous cell, that you never know what will happen in the cancerous cell. So there is defective electrical communication in the cancer cells. Aldolases. In most, these are the group of enzymes which are present in the mammalian tissues. Okay. So this enzyme aldolases have different isoforms. Isoforms means the same forms of the enzymes but different types, that is A, B and C. Here you can see that the enzyme aldolase exists in 3 isoenzyme form, that is A, B and C. So in normal cell we have A, B and C. So there are different expression time. Okay. So when of this enzyme during the embryonic tissue, okay, in the embryonic tissue the isoenzyme A and C are the isoenzyme A and C are present during the embryonic form of tissue. Okay. But the isoenzyme B is always present during in the adult tissues. Okay. So isoenzyme in normal cell, okay, isoenzyme A and C takes place in the embryonic tissue while B takes place in the adult tissues. So in the cancer cell what happens, the isoenzyme B, okay, the isoenzyme B which is formed, normally it is formed in the adult tissues, it is present in the embryonic tissues. So the isoenzyme B is present in the embryonic tissue, which activates the cell to divide more and more and more, because it is forming number of cells as it was required in the embryonic tissue. Okay, so it will behave like it is in the embryonic tissue and it will activate more and more cells, provide enzyme to that and cause multiple division of the cells. So let us now see the comparative account of the normal cells and the cancerous cell. So in normal cell there is controlled growth, okay, while in cancer cell there is uncontrolled growth due to uncontrolled cell division. Next, there are normal number of chromosomes in normal cells, while in cancerous cell there are abnormal chromosome numbers. It may be a polyploidy, diploidy and more than that tetraploidy, which enhances the size of the tumor or this cancerous cell. Next is it undergo apoptosis, that is it undergoes the natural programmed cell death, okay, but in cancerous cell it does not pay attention to the signals coming for apoptosis. So there is no apoptosis, there is no cell death of the unwanted cells too. So the number goes on increasing more and more. Then there is contact inhibition, okay, in the normal cells, while there is no contact inhibition, so it forms several layers of the cancer cell. Normal cells, they stay in the required organ only, but the cancerous cells are having the ability to invade or break the cell membrane and invade other tissues. These are all the bin bulai mehman going to anyone's house and having the lunch or the food. So their ability to metastasize, once they enter into other organ, they try to spread in each and every organ. So, normal cells are the specialized cells, while cancerous cells are non-specialized cells. Normal cells, they undergo maturation and senescence. Okay, they get matured according to the fate, and also there is cell death according to the cell fate. But cancerous cells are immature, they never grow, they keep on dividing and they remain undifferentiated. So, they are having even appearance, morphological appearance, while the cancerous cell have variable appearance. They may be of any shape. They have even shaped nuclei in the normal cells, while in cancerous cell there are variable or different type of nuclei shapes. They have an organized arrangement due to a proper cytoskeletal structure, okay, while as the cytoskeletal structure is reduced, okay, or not functional, they have a disorganized arrangement. So, hope you have understood this comparative account and also the characteristic of the cancer cells. So, now let us know about the genes responsible for causing the cancer. So, there are some genes which get expressed when there is no triggering or signaling of cancer causing genes. Till that there is no cancer in your body, but once they are activated, the genes get activated and further forms different kind of cancers in your body. So, which are those genes which are forming or gets activated and form cancer in your body? So, these are called as cancer related genes. Okay. In that, first is the oncogene and other one is the tumor suppressor gene. So, oncogene, what do you mean by onco? Onco means that is related to cancer. Okay. So, oncogene, it's a mutated form or it's a mutated gene that contributes to the development of cancer. Okay. It is only known for forming the cancerous cell in your body. Then tumor suppressor gene. Actually, you know, the tumor suppressor gene is a gatekeeper gene. Okay. It is a gatekeeper gene. Why it is called as gatekeeper? Because it is known to suppress the tumor in your body. It never allows, when it is in proper functional condition, its function is to stop the growth of tumor cell or stop the activation of the genes which are going to get activated for cancer cell. So, till the tumor suppressor gene is functional in your body, no cancer is going to be formed. But whenever you are exposed to some kind of carcinogens or cancer causing agents, what they do? They first break the gate and the gatekeeper genes are mutated. Okay? So, they first harm the tumor suppressor genes where they lose their function. They are not able to know that when there is any mutation or alteration of the gene, they lose the ability to function, they become non-functional. So, that time they slow down, they are known to slow down in the normal cell, they are known to slow down the cell division. Okay. When there is more number of divisions, they are signaled that the cell divisions should be slowed down. They help to repair the DNA mistakes in the cell. They promotes apoptosis. Then it prevents or it suppresses the cancer causing cells. So, so many important functions are there, but when this tumor suppressor gene is mutated, it loses its function and the cells grows uncontrollably. It loses all the control over the cancerous cell and it leads to cancer. So, the other one I have told you about the oncogene. So, it was a mutated form. So, the mutated gene, before the mutation, this gene is called as Proto-Oncogene. So, it is called as Proto-Oncogene. So, this Proto-Oncogene promotes differentiation of the cells. In the normal cell, it promotes differentiation, it proliferates, it helps to proliferate the cells in normal cells. Okay. But when there is mutation due to the carcinogens or cancer causing agents, it turns into oncogene. Okay? It turns into an oncogene. So, oncogene is a mutated form of proto-oncogene. So, once oncogene is formed in your body, it leads to cancer. So, what is the function of oncogene? It hyperactivates the cell to cell proliferation. So, number of cells are proliferated in your body and there is no cell death. You can see the imbalance. At one side there is hyperactivity of the cell proliferation, at one side there is cell death, there is ceasing of cell death. So, no cell death and only the hyperactivation of cell proliferation. So, the mass of cell is going to increase and increase. So, which leads to uncontrolled, the body starts getting losing the control over the cell division, and lastly the cells start growing and forms the cancer. So, here you can see in this picture, when the cell is exposed to the cancer causing agent, mutation occurs, there is alteration of the gene. So, this mutation inactivates the tumor suppressor gene, which is known to suppress the tumor. So, as the function is to suppress the tumor, due to mutation it is going to lose its memory, it is going to lose its function, and now it starts to proliferate. The cells are proliferating more and more and more. You can see the cell proliferation. This proliferation, the mutation inactivates the DNA repair gene, and now as the cells are losing control, there are no DNA repair mechanism working. Okay? So, what happens in DNA repair? Whenever there are any mistake, they are repaired by the DNA repair genes. Okay? But as there is no DNA repair, the faulty DNA structures are multiplied, divided, okay, forming the abnormal cells in your body. Then mutation of proto-oncogene creates the oncogene. This mutation inactivates several more tumor suppression genes. Now, oncogene, what he will do, as you have come, as here it has activated, now it is going to produce more mutation in the tumor suppressor gene, and like this a mass of cells are going to form in your body, resulting into cancer. So, after this, knowing the cancer related genes, we will look for the why this cancer related genes are activated. So, what are the causes of cancer? So, there are two main causes of cancer. Okay? One is intrinsic and other one is extrinsic. Okay? Intrinsic means the internal factors responsible for the cancer, and extrinsic means the external factors, okay, which are responsible for causing cancer in your body. So, the intrinsic causes of cancer are hereditary, the replicative errors, and the hormonal regulation in the body. Okay, these are all intrinsic causes of cancer, while extrinsic causes are of three different types. One is the physical, other one is the chemical, and the biological. So, different factors, physical, chemical, biological agents are responsible for causing mutation in your body, resulting into cancer causing cells. So, what are the physical factors? So, the physical factors are the ionizing radiations, the radiations coming from the changing environment. These are the X-rays and the gamma rays or the UV rays. Okay? So, once you are affected by these rays, what happens in the body or in the cells? There is a double stranded DNA break. It breaks the double stranded DNA. Also, it forms a pyrimidine dimer, or the thymine dimers are formed, which causes problem in the replication of the cells forming, giving rise to the abnormal cells. Okay. Next is the chemical factors. The chemicals are the tobacco, smoke, asbestos, arsenic, nickel. There are still so many chemicals which you every day are getting exposed to that chemicals are responsible for activating the cancer causing genes which are present already in your body, which will cause a DNA damage in your cell. Next is the biological factors. So, which are those biological factors? These are the virus, the Proto-Oncogene, just now we have discussed the Proto-Oncogene and the oncogenes. Okay. So, what are these? So, this delay the apoptosis, the programmed cell death which has to be happen regularly on regular basis is delayed. So, there is no cell death. They neutralize the tumor suppressor proteins. They stop the functioning of the they inhibit the tumor suppressor proteins from suppressing the tumor. So, these are different factors responsible for causing the cancer, and these factors are nothing but you are every day facing this with these problems. And in the first slide I have told there is no single cause of cancer, but the cancer causes due to the repetitive exposure. It is not that once you are exposed to some cancer causing agent and now you will start suffering from the cancer. No, it is not like that. Due to the repetitive exposure means for example, every day you are traveling to some or other place, in the environment there are different kind of pollutants, okay, pollutants. So, there are different after pollutants there are different kind of pesticides coming into your body. So, in the some or other form different kind of agents are entering your body and causing activation of that genes, and so only there is number of people suffering from the cancer. So, in this if you see, this is the sporadic cause which is you are suffering every day or there is sudden changes in your cell, and this is about 80% of people suffer from cancer due to the extrinsic causes, okay, and 5 to 20% of the people are suffering from the intrinsic causes of the cancer. So, let us now know actually what are the intrinsic causes of cancer. So, extrinsic causes just now I have discussed. So, extrinsic causes like alcohol, okay, the alcohol beverages which actually now each and every person or some party peoples and some official persons or different kind of peoples now they on the regular basis have alcohol, but due to the repetitive this exposure I have told you that they are going to be suffering from different kind of cancers. Then there are different kind of drugs, okay, as we are hearing in daily news that drugs which is really harmful for your body as it is causing cancer. Then there are different kind of chemicals, you are exposed to the UV rays, okay, if you are there for if you spend lot of time in the sun. Then there are different kind of radiations. There are some part of people working in some industries where they have to get exposed to these radiations, but if proper care is not taken, that if proper preventive measures are not taken in the industries, the workers might suffer from this cancer. Then the lifestyle, the most important reason for causing cancer is the lifestyle, because if there is no proper routine in your life, then 100% you are going to suffer from the cancer. Okay, then in the lifestyle it may be the routine of your sleep, it may be the routine of your work, or it may be your diet. The most important thing is your diet. So, this is one of the cause. Then viruses, there are some different kind of viruses, there may be SV40 or there are viruses which are responsible for activating the genes of cancer. Then there are environmental factors. Nowadays, if you can see the polluted air and so many release of chemicals in the air, the water, everywhere. So, we are getting more chances of getting exposed to different kind of chemicals due to the environmental factors. So, these are all the extrinsic factors which we are exposed regularly, and it is entering in our body and thus causing or increasing the chances of getting cancer. So, now let us see about the intrinsic causes. Intrinsic causes mean they are nothing related with the extrinsic, but if you see, for example, if you think that if there is a baby, after a month, immediately you are knowing that that baby is suffering from a cancer, a blood cancer or maybe another kind of cancer. Then how? This baby is still not exposed to these extrinsic causes, any environmental factors, then how it is having this is called as cancer. So that time these are the intrinsic causes. So let us know about the intrinsic causes. So these are the hereditary cancer syndromes. Hereditary means these are inherited from your parents or from the other generations before in your body. So the changes or mutation in specific genes are passed from one blood relative to the another. Okay. So the individuals who inherit, okay, from the individual who inherit one of these gene changes will have a higher likelihood of developing cancer within their lifetime. For example, if any one of your family member is suffering from any kind of disease, for example, a breast cancer, okay, so that in the next generation her daughter or the daughter's daughter might suffer from this kind of cancer because it is inherited. There might be a chance, but sometimes it may be not. So don't worry. So the hereditary cancers often occur earlier than the sporadic form of the cancer. In the sporadic form of cancer, I said that there should be a repetitive exposure to that factors, okay, these are the external factors, but this occur afterwards due to heavy exposure. But in hereditary characters, as you know, the genes are already inherited and they may get activated at any time. So screening is very must, okay, when you know the pedigree or when you know that the family member is suffering from the cancer, the next generation should be screened for the presence of the cancerous gene. So screening from younger age is recommended. So individuals having the inherited gene, okay, may be at a higher risk for more than one type of cancer. Okay, the individuals having that inherited copy of gene causing cancer may be at a higher risk for more than one type of cancer. For cancer survivors, this may affect cancer treatment options or follow-up care. Usually produce the site-specific cancers, means if in the past generation that person is suffering from the breast cancer, then in the next generation that person, the daughter, okay, or her daughter will suffer from breast cancer only. So it is called a site-specific cancer. So two or more relatives may be affected in that family. So cancer is nowadays a common disease. So some families will have some members who having the same cancer, but that does not mean the cancer in that family is hereditary. Okay, it may sometimes it may not be hereditary. It may be due to the extrinsic factors where the genes are activated, and in that family same two person may be affected, but it may not be hereditary. So let us know about the hereditary more. There is the other reason may be the familial history. Okay, here you can see. Similarly, if a patient had two members of her mother's family with breast cancer, okay, if here you can see this female is having a breast cancer, okay, and in this members of her mother's family with breast cancer and one ovarian cancer, okay. So she would have 25 to 40% of chance having inherited and altered gene. So she may also have that person daughter, okay, if she has 4 kids, okay. So in this she may have a breast cancer or may have a ovarian cancer, okay, in her kids. But in the next generation of her kids, if the person is with breast cancer, it may again have a breast cancer only. So this is called as site specific. So this daughter, we hear the generations are not skipped. In each generation, the person is suffering from a cancer. So this is a familial history of cancer. So next reason for intrinsic causes is hormonal regulation. Okay. So, some people believe that estrogen, okay, the estrogen is a hormone released in the females, is responsible for the cause of breast cancer. So, most important cause of causing reason for breast cancer is the release of the hormone called as estrogen. So, it is a general term for female steroid sex hormones that are secreted by the ovary. Okay. This estrogen is secreted by the ovary and responsible for giving a typical female sexual characteristic. So, this estrogen is expressed after the menses. So, for years estrogen has been suspected. After some study, it has been known that estrogen is a suspected carcinogen. So, there are so many evidences that the hormone to breast, endometrial and uterine cancer. So, this estrogen is able to give rise to breast cancer, endometrial cancer and uterine cancers. So, women who begin menstruating early, the girls which has periods in very early age, what happens? As they are having an early age, they are releasing their estrogen till their menopause. So, it may be till long years, and so there may be some chances of having this type of cancers. And then who are starting their menopause late. Menstruating early is one cause, and the menopause at a late age also causes the cancers of endometrial, uterine or breast cancer, because due to late menopause, what happened till that age, means till 60 years, that women is secreting estrogen. So, increasing higher amount of estrogen in body causes cancer in your body. So, it produces more estrogen over their lifetimes and have a higher risk of breast cancer. So, hormonal regulation is very important reason for breast cancer. So, these are just now I have discussed the properties of cancer. So, if seen in the pie diagram in the causes of cancer, just now what we have discussed. So, we can see a vast number, okay. Here you can see more number of cause of cancer is the diet, that is the 35% of the is the reason, diet is the reason which helps to cause cancer, while the other reasons, that is tobacco, sunlight and other, here you can see the tobacco is one of the main, that is 30%, okay, is the main reason for causing cancer. So, students, please help other people or the members of your family to stay away from this external factors which are going to cause or going to activate the genes in your body and cause cancer. And as they are causing cancer, and they should take care that once the cancer causing genes are activated, they may be inherited in your future generation also. So, please help them to avoid this things which are causing cancer in their body. So, there are the 6 hallmarks of cancer. So, let us see what are the 6 hallmarks of cancer. First is the evading growth suppressor, means inhibition of the growth suppressor. The cancer cells are not, they require no growth suppressors. So, there is inhibition of growth suppressors, activation of activating invasion and metastasis to spread all over the body. Then enabling the replicative immortality, means this helps the cancer cell to replicate more and more and more. Then inducing angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is the supply of blood vessel to the tumor cells or to the cancerous cells. The cancerous cells require lots and lots of blood to get the nutrition. So, more the blood supply to the cancerous cell, more is the development of the cancer. So, it tries to induces angiogenesis in your body to get the more nutritious supply to the cancer cell. Resisting the cell death, means it inhibits the apoptosis, the removal of unwanted cell from your body. So, there are lots of unwanted cell in your body which increases the mass of tumor. Then sustaining the proliferative signaling, the cells goes on proliferating till n number of times. So, it does not get the signal of cell death, okay, to stop the growth. So, it sustains the proliferative signaling, and these all characters lead to the development of cancer in your body. Okay. So, this was all about the cancer cells. Hope you have known all things about the cancer. What is cancer? What are the different characteristics of cancer? Then what are the cancer related genes present in your body, and what happens when they are activated, and hallmarks of cancer and different agents of cancer. So, if you have any question regarding this video, please drop into the chat box. Thank you so much for watching, and please like the video and subscribe to the RBNB College Sri Rampur educational channel. Thank you so much.